Was Maki justified? This is a question that I have seen asked and argued about since the chapters covering the Zen'in clan massacre first released over 4 years ago at this point. These discussions have only grown since the initial release due to JJK becoming more mainstream over time. With the anime adaptation of Maki's Rampage finally releasing, and wanting to beat the allegations that JJK fans don't read the manga, I saw now as a good time to break down what Maki did and if she was justified in doing it. Before I begin, I would really appreciate if you liked the video and subscribed. I am incredibly close to hitting 1k subs and would love to hit that milestone soon. I assume basically everyone watching this will have some idea of what Maki did, but I'll still very briefly explain. Maki held a pretty deep hatred for the Zen'in clan since her introduction within the series, as she was born into the Zen'in clan herself, but was viewed as a failure due to not being born with a cursed technique or even cursed energy. On top of this, the Zen'in clan as a whole is very misogynistic, thus Maki was mistreated the entire time she was in the clan, with certain members confirmed to outright abuse her. It's also just very consistent throughout the manga that no important members of the clan are portrayed to have any redeeming qualities, basically all being shown to only care about their clan's position of power within the Jujutsu world. Maki went on to kill dozens of members of the Zenin clan, and then went on to kill even more off-screen, effectively destroying the clan. Now, this is an incredibly brief overview to just preface what I will be talking about. What I think is important to actually expand on regarding Maki is her original intent regarding the clan, what led to her rampage, and how extensive her killing of the clan actually was. Starting with her original intent, the earliest instance of Maki talking about her plans regarding the Zen'in clan is in Volume 0, where she says to Yuta she plans to become a Grade 1 sorcerer, to prove everyone wrong who called her a failure within the clan. She then goes on to say she wants to turn everything upside down. She trails off mid-sentence here, so she likely had more to say. The final part of this interaction sees Yuta telling Maki that he can help her crush the Zen'in family, to which Maki says she must do it on her own. The only part of this interaction that could be interpreted to mean she plans to kill anyone is the statement at the end about crushing the family. But Yuta was actually the one to say this and not Maki. If Maki planned on killing the family, she probably would have just said it herself. On top of this, crushing the family can be seen as not meaning offing everyone in the family, and simply overturning the current structure of the clan. We get more context to what Maki wants in the main series, when in chapter 38, we actually get to see when she left the Zen'in clan, where she says to Naobito she plans to become the Zen'in clan head. Both this and Maki saying to Yuta she wants to just become a great sorcerer to prove her family wrong would imply she had no intentions to kill anyone at this time. After all, you can't really become the head of a clan if you literally destroy the clan. Maki's intention seems to just be becoming a great sorcerer, becoming the head of the Zen'in clan, and then overturning the current oppressive structure of the clan. So how did Maki get to the point of slaughtering the clan when her original intent wasn't even violent? When Maki returned to the Zen'in clan to collect curse tools in preparation for the Culling Games, she finds Mai in a near-death state at the hand of her father, Ogi. Ogi then severely injures Maki as well, and leaves both Maki and Mai to die in a pit full of curses. Mind you, at this point Maki still had no intent for violence. She passes multiple other people on the way to the cursed warehouse, and only attempts to fight Ogi because he attacked Mai and showed clear intent to attack Maki. On top of this, Maki had permission to go collect the cursed tools from the warehouse based on the Zen'in clan's own rules, as Megumi was now the rightful head of the clan and gave her explicit permission to do this. Ogi was also the person who proposed he should be the one to execute Mai and Maki, as executing his own daughters would, and I quote, give him credibility. So not only did Maki really have no choice but to end Ogi's life, as she was legitimately protecting herself by doing so, but Ogi is an awful person, and Maki would be very much justified in ending him regardless of self-defense. I would say the same about the rest of the killings we see Maki do on screen, with the Kukuru and Hiei units attacking her with clear lethal intent, so Maki responding with lethal force is expected. To be clear, I know Maki would have certainly killed these units even if they did not attack her, but that's why I said it is similar to Ogi, where it is both justified self-defense, and the people Maki are killing are not good people. We of course get nothing direct from these nameless Zen'in clan members Maki runs through, but we can infer plenty. First of all, the heartless and hateful behavior of the clan seems to be pretty generally shared by most members. It's not like Maki was bullied and rejected by just the named members of the clan. It's pretty clearly implied she was seen as a failure by the clan in general, similarly to how Toji was viewed. These people are all probably completely okay with maintaining the current misogynistic structure of the Zen'in clan. The fact that they willingly follow all these orders of the clearly corrupt, evil, and power-hungry higher-ups of the clan pretty clearly show this. Again, these nameless members are harder to talk about because we don't know who they are as people for certain, but going off what we know about the clan in general, it's pretty unlikely Maki was ending the life of some hidden angel. Now, I don't think too many people have an issue with Maki destroying the combat units of the Zen'in. Where a lot of controversy comes in is that because Maki ended the entire clan, that would mean she killed non-combative members like servants and children. But I don't think this is actually true, or to be more clear, it is not confirmed she did this. I certainly understand the interpretation that Maki just wiped out the entirety of the Zen'in clan, but it is never actually directly said that she did this. I'm going to put 2 translations for this on screen to be as fair as possible, but what is stated following Maki's on-screen rampage through the clan headquarters is that Maki killed the remaining members of the Hiei and Kukuru units that were not present at the headquarters that day. It does not say she went on to end the life of every remaining Zen'in clan member in general. Now, the reason I put 2 translations on screen is because the TCP is very direct in saying the members of the Hiei and Kukuru were who Maki killed, while the Viz translation says members of the Zen'in clan not present, which could be seen as more vaguely saying all members, regardless of being in a combat unit or not. However, the Viz translation still goes on to specify the number of each unit Maki killed, so even though the wording is a little more open-ended, the context seems to support the idea it is just talking about the combat units. Now, the other reason it's brought up to say Maki ended everyone in the clan is the constant sentiment of destroy everything. This was originally said by Mai when she asked Maki to promise her to destroy everything, and Maki clearly echoes this sentiment. This is not only in reference to the literal destruction of the clan, but part of Maki having to leave everything behind to awaken, with the most obvious being her cursed energy. I once again get why this statement makes people think that Maki ended the Zen'in bloodline. After all, everything is a pretty definitive wording. But the issue is, Maki doesn't kill every Zen'in clan member. This isn't my speculation, and I'm not arguing about what a certain statement implies when I say this, because Megumi is the official head of the clan at this point, and Maki leaves him alive. On top of this, Maki is a part of the Zen'in family and does not take her own life. So saying destroy everything in reference to the Zen'in clan cannot be hyper-literal. What I think can easily be argued, and will be many people's response to this, is that Megumi and Maki are both of Zen'in blood, but do not associate with the clan. Megumi not even having the name Zen'in, and Maki having left the clan before the series even started. I would agree with this fully, but this would mean Maki destroying the clan wouldn't include ending members of the bloodline who do not associate with the clan. More specifically, people who are not active threats and willing to maintain the clan's oppressive structure going forward. If there are innocent children, Maki has no reason to kill them. They are not the ones creating or maintaining the current clan structure. There is also the fact that in Modulo, it is implied the Zen'in clan is still around, with a curse user speculating that Sugiri is from one of the big 3 families. I know some people immediately think this is contradicted by the main series saying the Zen'in family was removed from the big 3 families, but this is actually never stated, only being said that it was proposed, but the decision was on hold, meaning they were never actually said to be removed, and Modulo seemingly confirms they were not. The wording in this would also imply that the clan members are still around, as the curse user doesn't seem shocked that Sugiri is from the clan. If the only members were direct descendants of Maki, then he would probably show some surprise in encountering a member of a clan that has a tiny amount of members. On top of this, the clan would probably have been removed from the big 3 families if there is truly only 2 people who could even potentially continue the bloodline. It definitely implies there were more survivors from the clan left alive after Maki's rampage, which, if there are survivors, it is probably just Zen'in clan members aside from the combat units and any innocent members in general. All this to say, it is never confirmed Maki killed children, and is unlikely based on the information we have. Now, there is one confirmed on-panel instance of Maki taking out somebody who isn't a member of a combat unit, that being her own mom. I think this is the closest we have to Maki doing something that's just blatantly excessive. Her mom is not a fighter, and while we don't directly see what happened, it definitely seems like Maki was the one to seek her out. The only thing I have to say about this scene is it isn't totally clear what Maki's original intent was. We see her trying to talk to her mom initially, and when her mom refuses to talk, she then kills her. This could just mean Maki wanted to talk to her mom first, and was planning on killing her after, regardless of her response. I, however, has always interpreted this as Maki trying to talk things through, and only deciding on killing her after she didn't listen. I'll fully admit this isn't definitive at all, and is mainly just my intuitive take on the scene. The only actual evidence I can give would be that Maki attacked everyone else immediately during her rampage, and the damage she did to her mom wasn't even immediately lethal, despite her being weaker than the others Maki fought. So I always took this as Maki reluctantly deciding to end her life, and was not as aggressive in the damage she inflicted due to this. This would coincide with Maki only going after the combat units, as her mom is not a part of one. Again, I think this is not at all definitive, and I just wanted to give my view on this particular scene. If you think Maki always planned on killing her mom here, then I will not say you are outright wrong. Maki's mom was pretty awful to Maki, and seemed okay with keeping the clan structure in place. So if you think that was enough for Maki to decide to end her, I completely understand. This is really the only questionable action Maki takes though. I do think everything else she is confirmed to do was well within reason. Killing the combat units is something I don't even think most people argue about. The main issue people seem to take is Maki killing innocents, which outside of potentially her mom, does not seem to happen. I think Maki was fully justified in her actions. But at the end of the day, if you actually think Maki is justified, it doesn't just come down to what actions she took, but how you personally view these actions. I spent most of this video contextualizing what she did, or pushing back on the idea of Maki doing certain things. But none of that means anything if you just think what she did on panel isn't morally okay. I'm not going to get super deep and philosophical about morality. All I really wanted to do with this video is clarify what Maki actually did, and explain why I do view Maki's actions as justified.